Hello, my name is Sharon Hughson and I am a story coach. If you're like most people I met, you're like, okay, what's a story coach? So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, and I'm going to let you know who would benefit from working with a story coach like me. Coaching, it's like the wave of this decade, this century, isn't it? There's a coach, so many coaches. There's a writing coach, there's a book coach. Now you're a story coach. There is a mindset coach. Maybe there's a life coach. There's a health coach. There's a, oh my goodness, which coach is the one that's right for me? So I'm going to give you a definition for a story coach and then tell you who would benefit from working with me. So a story coach is someone who coaches you through your story writing process. So not if you just barely have an idea. The best time that you're going to get the most from working with a story coach is if you have drafted a book, a story, and you're like, okay, but is it any good? So if you have a complete or a nearly finished manuscript that you're like, all right, but it's missing something, or you're stuck, you're not sure if it's any good, a story coach could help you. Maybe you've been submitting your book to agents and editors, and you have been getting rejections without any feedback. Or you have been submitting and maybe you've worked with your beta readers or a developmental editor, and the feedback you're getting is that your plot is weak, it needs some work in some areas, your character arc is non-existent or needs some work, your characters aren't very believable, or very relatable was the one I always heard when I was getting feedback when I first started submitting. You could definitely, those especially are the types of people who could benefit from working with the story coach. So why is that, Sharon? Why would those people benefit from working with a story coach? Because as a story coach, I'm going to ask you to send me your synopsis so I understand what your story is. And then I'm going to give you the opportunity to send me parts of your novel. I probably will not read the whole book, but parts of the novel that have key points so I can see what might be missing, and give you feedback in your manuscript on that, as well as when we meet together in our sessions, our Zoom calls, we will talk about those things. You can ask me everything. I will give I think the greatest thing I offer is brainstorming help. I always get from people when I've, toss out 100 ideas that they're like, okay, I don't really like those, but when you said da 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 da, it made me think da 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 da, and suddenly they're off and running with their story again. So a lot of times, because we work in isolation and we sometimes feel like, okay, no one wants to hear about my story, or what would I even say about my story? We don't really get feedback and just get more stuck. So that is how a story coach can help you. So they'll help you in the development of your ideas, but also in the execution. So you send your pages, I read them and go, okay, so this was that scene that was supposed to be really tense and I'm just not feeling it. And here are some reasons why. And then you can fix those things. You know the problem. I may or may not get a suggestion on how to fix it. Most of the time, if we as a writer know the problem, we have ideas about how we would fix that. So if you are serious about seeing your book in print, and it's really important to you to publish the best story possible, then working with a story coach like me would be very beneficial. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, check below. I have a link so that we could chat for 15 to 30 minutes and talk about your struggles and see whether or not we would be a good fit, because I would never ask you to invest in a coach, in a coaching relationship, without knowing, hey, I think Sharon can help me. So maybe you're still not sure, you're on the fence. Remember, you can join Write Your Book Nook for free and ask questions and interact with a lot of other great writers who've been working on their books and really believe their story matters and They want to help you get your story in the world too.